Yo, first of all, before we even get into this review video, all I wanted to say is, go New York, go New York, go, go New York, go New York, go. Any of my Knicks fans watching this movie review video, I just want to say, bro, we did it, man. We're here, we alive. Right now, it's Knicks in 5. It used to be Knicks in 4. But we did a little bad, so we gotta do a little bit more. Hold up, now it's about to be Knicks in 5. Hey, bro, all I'm gonna say is, if we win this fifth Knick game, it's lit. If we lose this fifth Knick game and we go to Madison Square Garden again on Game 6, all I gotta say is, because I'm finna be there. No cap, we finna be there. We finna be there. Game 6, we gotta do something about it. We gotta do something about it. Yo, what's up? It's Ignitah. This is the movie review of Disclosure Day. Let's get into it. First of all, I'm gonna review it. No spoiler. It's gonna be non-spoiler, and then we're gonna go to the spoiler review. This is the non-spoiler review first. Non-spoiler. I think that it is a solid movie. I think it's a solid movie. If you are into alien movies, if you're into aliens in general, you should watch this movie. If you are into Steven Spielberg films, you should watch this movie. If you are the type of person to go to the movies to be like, to like really dive into a story, to be wondrous, like to feel wonder, you should dive into this movie. If you're the type of person that likes that kind of like, it's kind of like those spy films, like those spy films, those like, you should watch this movie. If you love 2010s films, you should watch this movie. This film is very 2010-ish. Like, it's very like one of those movies it's one of those movies that like are kind of like, oh, you just like that come up in your cable on like FX, and like you just watch them, and it's a good movie. These are one of those movies. Now, let's get into spoiler review. Now, I feel like if I rank it, that's gonna spoil the movie for me. So that's why I give it to that. So this is my spoiler review. Okay, when I say that bit was not gas, that bit was mediocre, very mediocre, very mid film. Okay, let's talk about my theater experience. I'm gonna always bring up my theater experience. There's this lady sitting right next to me, crying because aliens was getting hurt on the screen. The whole movie is about feeling empathy for aliens. They never show anything about the aliens, like they never show anything about the aliens like something they did good, right? If you feel empathy, look, for example, if I feel empathy for a raccoon, right? Why do I feel empathy for a raccoon? Well, I mean, they're creatures, right? They're animals, right? You feel empathy. You automatically feel empathy for animals. But not only that, they, even, like, it's a weird thing. You feel empathy for animals, right? Because you've seen like how they act, how they are. They're like alive. They're alive. They have these things that they do. They wash their hands before they eat. You have these raccoon families. They're doing what they do need to do to survive. Okay. So when you see a raccoon, that's not running through your garbage. But you see a raccoon, just a random raccoon in the street, you're gonna be like, oh, it's a cute raccoon. I'm not trying to kill it. Same thing with like there's like these ducks in the street. I'm not trying to kill it. You know what I'm saying? Because like I feel like people, like as humans, we don't kill creatures because it's like sure, it's empathy, but it's also like it's also a sense of like you're taking a life. Sure, not a human life. You're taking a life though. A raccoon. I want to see all creatures live full lives. Now, why is that? Maybe that's because of our societal values, I guess. Now, when it comes to an alien, right? If I see an alien getting tortured, it's gonna be the same if I see a raccoon getting tortured. oh, that looks bad. I'm gonna feel bad for it, but I'm not gonna sit here and cry. I'm not gonna sit here and cry, bro. There was this lady next to me. She was sitting there crying, like full on sobbing, like because aliens, because the footage of aliens getting tortured. Mind you, the footage was at least like 10 seconds at most. Like yeah, don't I got that alien was getting tortured, but like it wasn't even that. Like I don't know. To me, it wasn't that crazy, right? Like I feel like you need to humanize. Like think about it, because we humanize creatures because they have history. They've been with us. When it comes to an alien, we never met. We never met these aliens. Not saying we gotta fear them. The movie's very weird with it. It's telling you okay, you gotta fear them, but it's telling you that you gotta empathize with them. But then it also brings up like how, oh wait, they're gonna mess up the world dynamics with the religion. They're gonna mess up this, that, and the third. This movie's very like weird with that. Like it's a bit on the nose, with that. Not complaining. I did go into this movie fear that it was or go into this movie where Steven Spielberg and many people saying that I was gonna attack religion. So I didn't really I'm not trying to be like a sensitive soy baby or whatever. I don't know, like a pearl clutch or whatever, piety signaler. But listen, all those buzzwords. But look, the point what I'm making is that the movie does a very bad job in making you like making you empathize with these aliens, because they're not animals. They're not animals. Literally, in the towards the end of the movie, they said they choose to be animals to calm you down. Why? Because these people, these creatures, these alien creatures, are not from here. We don't know them. We don't know your intentions. We don't know if you're good or evil. Sure, towards the end, we know that they're good, but we don't know that. The government doesn't know that, right? We know they're good creatures. Just like, I mean, do we? Wait, actually, do we know? Because no, the thing is, the movie. I feel like the movie could, like the way it went about certain things was kind of weird to me. I feel like we were gonna see, like, according to the trailer, I thought we were gonna see the creature like at the end of the movie. They showed that like 30 minutes in. I'm like, whoa, what the? Okay, we're just showing creature, and it feels like a conspiracy theorist. It feels like this movie is like a mainly for conspiracy theorists, like alien people. Because I feel like I'm cool. I think conspiracy theories are fire. I think aliens are fire. So I'll go in this movie thinking like, oh, that is cool. But there's a lot of cool scenes, right? The scenes with the like alien tech, I think is cool. Um, scenes with like that's very intense. I think this movie fails bigly with like the emotional stuff. I just didn't connect with the characters like at all. Like I don't know. I didn't connect with the characters. I feel like maybe my experience, my viewing experience messed it up for me, but I could be trolling. I just didn't connect with the characters like that. And I'm talking about the Margaret and Daniel. Margaret and Daniel, they're the main characters, right? Margaret, she's a news worker. She's like always on the run type of girl. I'm not a Bob, but you feel me? But she always like just chilling. She always in a different headspace, right? And they're very on the nose with it. You know, like it's very very interesting. Like the emotional aspect of this movie is gonna be, like these kids were basically abducted when they were younger. Daniel, and they're the kids that were abducted when they were younger, and they got these special abilities, and they are now doing a lot of stuff. I think like so far, like now, I thought the beginning of the movie was really cool. Weird how they, like, when they started with a wrestling match. I'm like, okay, this is like, okay, interesting. Um, or it's very interesting to start with a wrestling match. I'm like, okay, to make it to where like, okay, it could be anybody, that's going through this. Okay, I see you. I see you. Not really a lot of memorable OSTs. Like, there's not literally memorable soundtracks in here, which kind of surprised me. and then they ended up using like some like random pop song for like a driving scene. I'm like, okay. The movie is very like very slow. Very slow movie. The entire movie is very slow. Very slow. And like the cool parts are like 2 seconds of the entire movie. Like the rest of the movie is just slow, like dialogue, building plot, right? And like it's like it uses the dialogue. It's okay. Like, because the thing with slow movies is like, okay, I get this movie's slow, but I'm letting it cook. Let me pay attention. Let me see. Let me pay attention, because the thing with slow movies is that they cook. It's a let it cook type of movie, and I have no problem with let it cook type of movie. As a cinephile, I'm trying to be a cinephile. I'm not trying to LARP. I'm actually trying to lock in with the movies, because movies. I've always been interested in movies, but I never like actually started to lock in. I never had the time to lock in, and I want to be the time to lock in. So there's a lot of great movies. But one thing about the movie experience, there's a lot of great movies coming out in August, September that I low-key want to watch. That low-key might be better than this movie, because look, this movie was cool. This movie is really cool. It's just for me, I didn't get nothing out of it. I just didn't get nothing out of it. Like I didn't get nothing out of it. I didn't get like the wondrous part about this movie was cool. The the internal conflict with the characters is just like, I didn't really like, I don't know. Like they were very like, it's very predictable on what was gonna happen. Cause like with Jane, for example, she's like, oh my god, well, what about the religion? What and then the nun's like, well, actually, no, God's kind of like open to this interpretate, or open to such a thing. And I'm like, well, yeah, that's obvious. Like, and it ends with Jane like I guess helping out with the news. I guess you know it, I don't know, man. I feel like this movie is just like it's not that I'm the wrong audience. It's just that like it's very like, it reminds me of like one of those like old 2010s, late to that 2000 movies where it's like you could just watch them on cable. Like I feel like, not, I don't feel like I wasted my ticket. I feel like because I seen this movie in IMAX too. I thought that would help, and Loki did help. The train scene is fire. I like the train scene. Train scene was really intense, really fire. There's a lot of great one shot moments. The cinematography is really great. Not, but I don't think there's a lot of memorable shots. Maybe there is. I could be wrong. No. The cinematography is great. I'd say the camera movement is great. I feel like the camera movement is better than the cinematography. Cinematography is also good. A lot of great shots in here. Like the alien technology, that the way it's used is cool. Very cool. I'm not saying you have to be entertained the entire movie, or like I just was very, I feel like this movie was a bit boring. You know? Like I feel like it was slow, but it didn't really like hit for me. Like, it's like a let it cook moment, and it hits. Like the ending was fire. The ending was fire. The ending is probably the best part about this entire movie. It was the ending. The ending was really good. Solid ending. But I don't think it made up for the 2 hours we spent, you know, with dialogue and then just some cool moments thrown in there. That is like 2% of the entire thing. Because most of it is very like. Also, it's a bit confusing. The movie is a bit confusing. It does explain to you at the end, but going through it's a bit confusing, and I feel like it adds to the. I feel like when you're confused throughout a movie, it adds to the slowness. It's like, okay, like I don't understand what is going on, so like, what's the point of watching this movie if I don't understand what's going on, right? But it's a slow burn. You got to understand, it's a slow burn. You know, maybe I'm tripping, but it just didn't hit for me. I don't think it was for me. I frick with aliens. I was really interested in to see, because he was like, oh, it's gonna question religion. I was really interested in seeing that, but it didn't really do any of that for me. It didn't really do any of that for me. It didn't really get my mind boggling. It did get my mind questioning like certain stuff. Like, okay, Okay, she says that it can't coexist because there's supreme beings, and we believe in a supreme being, right? But it's like actually, you know, who said okay? Like that alone, that alone makes no sense. Because you're gonna have to convince me that these aliens that they could do almost everything that God can do, and you have to convince me that they contradict what basically with the Bible. You got to convince me that they contradict the Bible in any sense, or that they and in this movie we've seen that they don't. We've literally seen that they don't. Why? Just because you're a supreme being, right, doesn't disprove that there's a higher being than even that, right? We have a guy with like the highest IQ on Earth right now, right? We could label him a supreme being, or we have a strongest man on Earth right now. We could label him as a supreme being. Does that make him more supreme than God? No. That's why I was like, I don't know that like that. That's why I'm like, it's very like it's not really that crazy. It's very simple, right? Regardless if you believe in aliens or not, the point is that this movie like fails a lot, bro. I feel like I know too much about certain things, like religion. Like, I know too much about a religion. I study religion a lot. I study conspiracy theories. I study all this a lot, and because of that, it's like it makes it very like cringe when they bring religion. Like I feel like every time a movie brings religion nowadays, or it's like it's in there, like it's either cool the way they use it, like it's interesting the way they use it, or it's cringe. It's either cool or cringe. It's never in between. It's never in between. It's either cool or cringe. The way they input religion into these movies. Now, the acting was solid. The acting was really solid in this movie. Some really solid acting. Some really solid cinematography. Some really solid uh VFX, digital effects. Like the CGI was cool. The aliens, the way they look was cool. Like very generic, but it wasn't about that. It wasn't about the genericness of the alien. It was about more than that, right? Now, it's an alien movie. You see more alien technology than you do aliens in this movie. You're gonna see more like human scenes, more more like human, mind control. Like, there's gonna be a lot of human versus human in this movie because the point of the movie, there's a reason to that though, and I understand that. I understand all that, right? I feel like there's not much more to say with this movie, man. I feel like I said all of it, like the whole, like all of it with the animals. Okay, animal turn humans. Okay, the empathy thing. It just didn't like he said it was gonna be very emotional. I was not emotional at all, bro. I was not emotional at all. I guess the ending scene was a bit emotional. I guess because like, you know, why are we torturing these creatures? It's kind of weird, but like it's not like okay, am I gonna cry for them? I don't know them, right? You cry for the Iron Giant because you know the Iron Giant is lit. You cry for these toys in Toy Story 3 because you know Toy Story 3 is lit. Why am I not gonna cry for an alien that we don't know, that we see in a ChatGPT AI prompt getting tortured on a computer, and all of a sudden it's Spielberg? What the fuck? The movie ass. Like I don't even know where I'm gonna put it in my list, bro. I'm making a movie list. Boom, I put it right there. That's my current movie list, bro, and that's where it goes. Because, my God, bro, like, yo, when I tell you this shit was mid, it was mid, but mid cut, yo, you can watch it, but don't spend nothing crazy. This shit was mid cut. I ain't gonna lie, shit was mid.